In the last several months, we have seen a enormous amounts of airdrops in the crypto space. And a lot of these have been in the perp dex industry. We've seen some in the stablecoin industry. We've seen some obviously in layer ones, layer twos. There's just been a huge amounts. DeFi has been pretty big, a huge amounts of airdrops. Well, obviously, some of them have been very lucrative, some not as much, but none have been as historical as the likes of Hyperliquid. Now, the project we're talking about in today's video, I think has a Hyperliquid type of airdrop capability due to not only its backing, what it does, what it's capable of, and its current partnerships. We're gonna be talking about Kite AI in today's video. Everything you need to know from what is the project, how does it work, what does it do, to focusing on how you can qualify for the airdrop and all the different things you can do to be able to earn towards that airdrop. It is guaranteed to have an airdrop. There is an incentivized testnet. So this is one you definitely want to pay attention to and get involved in early. That said, if you're new here, my name is Alex. We talk about crypto news, crypto passive income. If you enjoy content like that, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, smash up the like. Without further ado, let's end the video. So first, let's talk about what is Kite. Kite is the first AI payment blockchain. Now, it is technically a layer one, but built on top of an Avalanche sidechain. And what Kite is attempting to do is essentially allow an AI agent, in a very basic terms, or agents, to do things on your behalf within the financial world. And by doing this, it alleviates a lot of the time that you spend doing those things on your own when you can have an AI agent essentially perform certain tasks on your behalf, especially within the financial layer, which makes sense when you look at some of its backers and some of its investors, including the likes of PayPal and Samsung. So as they talk about on their website, foundational infrastructure empowering autonomous agents to operate and transact with identity, payment, governance, and verification, purpose-built for autonomous economy. Now, if you take a look at the team behind the likes of Kite AI. This picture here shows two of the individuals. You see the likes of the CEO and the CTO of Kite. Now, the individuals behind Kite, these are just two of the main individuals. The leadership behind Kite AI has a plethora of experience, not only in AI, but also building tech companies. So if you take a look at the first individual, Chi Zhang, has prior experience at Databricks and was a AI PhD from UC Berkeley. And then you have the likes of the Scott Shi, who is also, like I said, a co-founder of Kite AI, previously a founding engineer at Salesforce. And so when you have his experience coming from Stanford, so you have some very, very smart individuals. You have people who have experience building, founding engineer at Salesforce, someone at Databricks, building great quality technology companies, and now bringing their expertise over to the likes of Kite AI. When you take a look at the raise and the capital that they've raised so far, there's a massive amounts of companies that wanted to get in on this capital raise. And you had PayPal Ventures, which makes sense from a payment aspect. PayPal getting into the AI agent autonomous side of spending day-to-day access. And then you have others to the likes of Samsung that is invested, Hashkey, Layer Zero, Animonica. You have Avalanche, which kind of makes sense as they're on an Avalanche sidechain. So very, very impressive thus far. This occurred, I believe, earlier this year. September 2nd, 2025. So really only about a month and a half ago. So Kite AI is growing tremendously. I actually put together a Twitter thread. I'll link this down below in the description that goes into, I would say, pretty decent detail as to everything you need to know as far as the core features about the protocol, what makes it unique and stand out. The team, I go into a little bit more detail of the team, Uber, Salesforce, Databricks, Stanford, MIT, very, very knowledgeable individuals. and then talk about the airdrop campaign currently that is going on. So Kite AI, very basic breakdown, very basic to understand. But the biggest thing is if you want to understand it in greater detail, I'll leave a link to their website docs page so you can go in more detail seeing, what's the idea of how this works, how does this kind of all play out, how does this run, what is the work, the flow between you as the individual to the point where the agent acts on your behalf to do and accomplish certain tasks. And then obviously for protocols that are AI agent protocols, where they're not essentially a layer 1 for AI agents, but they have an AI agent, you're able to tie into Kite AI and be able to have your agent tied into essentially their ecosystem. So very, very unique aspect. If maybe you're not a user, but you're a builder, or you already have a protocol that could integrate well into the likes of Kite AI and what they're building. Now, mind you, this is also going to be very beneficial to the likes of Avalanche. So if you're very bullish on the likes of Kite AI, realize that AVAX is going to see a lot of success come from this as well. So let's talk about how to participate in the testnet, because I would assume 99% of you are here for that aspect of the video. And there's going to be a few things to understand when it comes to the incentivized testnet. One, yes, it is 100% incentivized. That means there is going to be some form of reward, a very high likelihood that is going to be in the form of an airdrop for those who participate in the current testnet called Ozone. And we're going to talk about what that looks like, but there are some other things that you can do that aren't explicitly talked about when it comes to the incentivized testnet portion itself. So the first thing I would recommend is when you're on the main page, you're going to see this up here where it shows get early access. And if you click on that, and we're going to just take this off, you click on that, it's going to go and take you to this page here, which actually gives you essentially two options. Shop, or where you can register your agent for a Kite Pass, which allows you to shop, order groceries, hail rides, buy gifts. So you're essentially able to allows your agent to pay on all platforms that support Kite Pass. So this allows you to register for a Kite Pass and then register your service. For example, some of these projects we've talked about before, Hurist, we've talked about Nubula, we've talked about Aether, but you have Shopify on here, you have OpenMind, some really very well put together protocols that have services that can tie back into the likes of Kite. But what I would recommend is go and register for your agent for a Kite Pass. Now if you click and do this, it's going to take you over to this page. Now I tried to go back. At one point I actually tried to go back and see if I can actually put in my passport information and name. So, for example, I'm just going to type some random stuff and it pops up with an error. So you can't try to bypass the system. I've already tried it. But what you can do is at least sign up for the waitlist. Now, this isn't technically something that is said, hey, directly, you by joining the waitlist, you're going to get so many points. It's not attributed to points, but this is just something extra that I think has some potential just by seeing you on the waitlist. Some of these platforms do require, or for example, Monad, if you had your email connected and you were involved via email within the Monad ecosystem, that could qualify you for a higher airdrop. So, highly recommend that you at least start and join the waitlist if you are interested in that, just as a platform as a whole, but also for the testnet. So that's the first thing. Now, outside of that, more specifically, getting involved in Ozone. Ozone is the second portion of the current airdrop. I talk about this in my post that I have here, but essentially right now, this is what you need to understand. So right now we're in version 2 Ozone, which is post version 1 called Arrow. With confirmed airdrop potential, you earn XP points that is convertible to Kite tokens on mainnet. There are certain tasks interacting with AI agents, daily quizzes, claiming testnet tokens from faucets, social tasks, community roles, and ecosystem exploration. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. The one thing you can do is there's no current opportunities right now with the Galaxy campaign. There's no ongoing current campaigns, but keep an eye on Kite AI's page, follow it, and stay up to date on any campaigns that are going to pop up here, because this is something that they are very much pushing towards when it comes to this. The other two things is Validator program. Now, you have to apply for the Validator program. You may or may not be approved. If you have experience running validators and you can prove you have experience, that could do well, and you may be eligible for that. That said, this is something that has certain criteria to it, but there is a huge value to this. If you think about in prior times, when it comes to a lot of incentivized testnets that had incentivized validator programs, the validators were typically the ones that were the most rewarded when it came to those airdrops. So something to consider, but validators receive an initial allocation in staked and locked form. Tokens unlock over 4 years to ensure long-term alignment, maintain their full stake. So there are certain things that are going to happen, but you earn Kite tokens for securing and validating the network, including an initial allocation and ongoing rewards. So you're going to get paid to run a validator, not to mention you're going to continue to get paid past that. So something to definitely consider if you're at all have experience in this. Definitely consider to apply. There's a link right here. I'll leave that down below if you want to go and check it out. Now, the other thing is being a wind runner. Now, this in many ways is essentially like a social fi aspect to what they're doing, except they're not collabing with your Katos of the world, your cookie.funds. Essentially, they're running their own social fi campaign called Windrunner. Now, I'll leave a link to this also down below so you can read through this. We're not going to have enough time to do it in today's video. But essentially, this initiative is a long-term commitment. It will not terminate at the time of the TGE. So not only are you going to get airdrop opportunities by posting great quality content on X pre-TGE, you're going to continue to possibly earn post-TGE. This is not short-term. TGE happens, it goes away. This is very much in for the long run. And the Kite AI team reserves the right of final interpretation. Rewards will be distributed on a rolling basis. And to ensure against, for fairness, prevent cyber attacks, specific quantity, value, schedule will not be disclosed in advance. So highly recommend. If you're already involved in social fi platforms, there's absolutely no reason not to participate in this. But you're going to be able to have, there's specific tiers. It goes in a lot more detail about this, but this is literally a social fi opportunity when it comes to Kite, possibly one of the most rewarding out there. But that said, those are the three main things. So, or I guess four, right? Register for a Kite Pass or get on the wait list. Join the program when it comes to validators if you're capable of doing so. Join the Windrunner. Post content. There's a link here where you can upload your content once it's posted right here. And then also keep an eye on the Galaxy platform. Now, let's talk about the main aspect of the airdrop because this is going to be your main page that you're going to go to. So on your page, you're going to connect your wallet. And you're going to see here on the left-hand side, you're going to see your profile, follow Kite friends, retweet Kite AI's post, and then join the Discord. I've done all of these. It's just taking a little bit of time for these to pop up. And then referring friends is another way to get extra points. So the airdrop is going to be calculated based off of the amount of XP points that you get allocated. Now, the other way you can also get points is by participating. You also get points or a Kite allocation through Testnet tokens. You can claim one Kite every 12 hours. So maybe you need to set an alarm clock. If you want to do that, you can, but highly recommend that you do that. And this is really the very basic side of this. Now, outside of that, there are badges that you can also get. So there's two badges I wasn't able to be eligible for, but I am eligible for the, I thought I already claimed this, but the commemorative badge. This is one that you can go ahead and claim. It looks like I've already minted the badge, but this is proof that you are in the incentivized testnet. So highly recommend that you do this. There's also quizzes that allow you every day to also earn XPs. So be mindful of that. I already did my quiz for today. I don't know if it's going to populate with another one. It's very basic things about Kite's ecosystem and how it works. So you may have to actually do some digging into the docs to be finding some of these answers, but highly recommend that you check it out. And because I already did my test for today, it may not be populating. But the quizzes are fairly easy. It's just multiple choice. You can go and stake, which I highly recommend that you do. It shows a way. Yes, this is, Testnet tokens, but it's a way to be able to get involved early and participate. Swapping, bridging, all these different things as far as engaging and utilizing its ecosystem. Now, also using some of the Kite AI agents also allows you to get more points, engagement, overall activity. So those are the main things for the platform itself. And then outside of the platform, participating in the Validator network, the posting content, social media content, joining the Galaxy campaign, and then joining the Kite AI, the agent waitlist. So that said, are the agent pass, Kite Pass. So hopefully this gives you everything that you need to know when it comes to the Kite AI airdrop. The only thing we don't know is the amount of tokens that are going to be allocated, and we don't necessarily know when the TGE is going to occur. But I can guarantee you this is going to be one that, or I can't guarantee you, but I have a high level of conviction this is going to be one extremely rewarding. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this protocol. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like. You enjoy content like this, consider subscribing. Until next time, guys, stay invested.